What's up, junkies? Welcome back in for another edition of Pigskin Junkies. Myself, Michael Larson, the big brother, Jared Larson, here to preview Week 9 already. I feel like I say that every week already. It's crazy. Football's going by so
already.
I know. It goes by so
Blink and
fast.
it's gone.
It's so beautiful. I just love it. But anywho.
It's like a juicy fart. You anticipate, it's fantastic, and then it's over.
And poof, it's gone. But you smell it for a little bit afterwards. You still have the taste, and then it's gone. But anywho, we're here to talk Week 9 of college football. The most important month of football is almost over, and that is October. September, you have the hype. November, the playoff picture is starting to shake out. But this is where the money is made, folks, and we are trying to make that money for you. So, Jared, you went 3-3-1 last week. I went 2-2, so I believe with the push you get the right away, right? Is that how that works?
No, I lost more because I had more games.
Okay. So you want
So
me to go
you were
first?
down 0.2 units, and I was... Well, I'll go first because
You got more picks, so.
I have more picks. And I will go in order of game time rotation, not by rotation number. This is Wednesday. I am currently in progress of my local member guest. And as the kid in Sandlot says, this is going to be a quick game because I got to get home for lunch. But I have winners. We're going to send them out. Make sure you stay tuned to Twitter because I will probably find a few more. I just did not have enough time between Monday and Tuesday to dig into the entire card. Game number 1, Purdue. -10. Plug your nose. Play the game. Very simple. Illinois off of a huge, massive win at home against an extremely good Wisconsin team, ranked, etc., etc. A lot of the players are probably still drunk, and now they got to go on the road and play a pretty good Purdue team and Jeff Brom, a coach that I respect. So I think they'll be ready to go. I'm not crazy about this number of 10, but I will lay it here and boiler up and lay the 10 points. Purdue versus Illinois.
Are we or are we not playing football in the XFL?
That's
Brom.
I wish he would come coach an XFL team. He won't because Purdue's paying him too much money. But
yeah. So I like it. I think Illinois you're going to see a lot of the.
Dude, they suck.
Yeah,
just look at Lovey for like 8 seconds.
The guy, he looks like he just doesn't care. He's like, I've let go.
He's thrilling on himself. He's like, wow, we won? Yeah, cool, okay.
Well, you and I were laughing. The kicker looked like he was going to throw up after the game. Guy looked like he was going to hurl.
They didn't try and do anything but kick that field goal, and it was not. What was it, a 43-yarder?
I think so.
But you and I were sitting together. I was like, this is going to be run, and pray that he makes the kick. And it's exactly what it was, and he made it. But I just don't like. There was a minute 20, minute 30 left on the clock.
Yeah.
Dude, dance a little. Try and get a first down and give this guy. I mean, I say it to you all the time. Just because you watch the NFL, these 40-something yard field goals, you should not be taking for granted. They're not auto with a 20-year-old scrub that was kicking for Northbrook High School 2 weeks ago. I just don't. I don't understand the psyche of a lot of these college coaches, but he made it, so whatever.
That's why a lot of those kids don't get scholarships, and then if they make one field goal, they're like, "Hey, you weren't this
boom,
kid.
You're on scholarship. Yeah, you got the stones, kid. You got the chops. Come on."
Yeah. I have Oklahoma -24 at Kansas State. I just think this Oklahoma team is going to keep putting up points, and I don't think Kansas State is anywhere near capable of keeping up whatsoever. I forget we can do a border battle or whatever, the Dakota marker tie-in here with because the former North Dakota State coach is now at Kansas State, correct?
Chris Kleeman, yes.
Yes. So taking place in Brookings. Kleeman. However you want to say it. Doesn't matter. I think he's going to do a good job with that program because I think he has he's been cut from a similar cloth as old Bill Schneider, but and that's a nice breath of fresh air when it comes to Big 12 football. I just think it's going to take a little bit to get that program where he would like it. So and Oklahoma is just scoring at will. Lincoln Riley, Jalen Hurts, and that whole team just steamrolling everybody. Even their own bandwagon. It's getting too heavy. It's starting to fall over.
That was a good one, Micah. You've been thinking about that all week, I bet.
Just been stewing over it the whole time.
I also have Oklahoma, which, listeners, means back the truck up on your Kansas State Wildcats. I don't really have a whole lot to add here outside of Micah. I do really like Chris Klieman. I think the program here is headed in a fantastic direction. In watching a couple of their games, it is crystal clear that they do not have the players to match up with a team of the caliber of Oklahoma. And I just don't know how they get stops. And from that perspective, does Kansas State maybe come in the back door? Sure. I think that's a very real possibility anytime you're laying 23 points on the road. But I see this something very similar to what we saw last week, 52-17, 49-10, 49-14, something along those lines, all of which cover the 23 number. So I, too, will be hopping on the Oklahoma Sooners. I would expect to hear from me about them quite a bit until playoff time rolls around, at which point I will promptly be jumping off the Sooner schooner.
So, Jared, why don't you go and give another one since we agreed on that one? I'll let you do that, and then we'll be even for the rest of our picks, I believe.
Yeah, I have 4 left. You should have 3. Okay. Game number 3, Stanford laying a point at home, 12:30 local kick against the rock star Kevin Sumlin. Wrong. I don't understand this line. I think it's extremely disrespectful to David Shaw and the Stanford Cardinal. I think they're even +1. I take that back. The fact that Arizona would be laying points on the road to anyone is disgraceful, much less an in-conference foe who I respect. So give me Stanford, give me the points. I think win on the field with 1 point. I would dabble on the money line here if you can find one. Otherwise, it may bounce back and forth between -1.5 and +1.5. I don't think it even matters. Just take the cheapest price.
Yeah, it's crazy. Stanford has just completely vanished from national headlines. Like, they got buzzsawed in their trip to Orlando by UCF, and then from then on, they've just disappeared into the California sunset, I feel like.
Well, but they do this every year. They shit the bed at some point between September 1st and October 15th, and then they just plow everyone from October 15th to November 15th, and then they usually trip up one of the 2 games at the end of the year, either Cal or I feel like they've played Oregon late a lot. Cal. It's kind of their MO. So get on the train. Like last week, this week, and probably the 2 weeks after that, I think this is a team you're going to want to be on when they start to hit their stride.
Next up, I got a game in, I believe, old Kirky country here. And that is the Michigan State Spartans taking on Penn State. Sparty has a bye week. They got an emotional Penn State Nittany Lion squad coming in after a big win last week, down to the wire against Michigan. I just think this is a classic Big Ten letdown spot. My fear is that Joe Public's going to be all over it. But this has always been, and you want to talk about MOs, this has always been what Michigan State has done. They're always good for, it's like Iowa, but on a little bit less lower scale, because Michigan State's normally ranked. But a higher, more athletic team normally comes in off of a big win, or in Michigan State's got a bye. I feel like it's the same song, and they'll take care of business. I'm not sure they win, but they at least keep it enough of a scare to cover the 6.5.
Yeah, I agree with you there. That was actually the first one. That was number 1 off the list for me was Penn State, Michigan State, mainly because it reeked so bad, and I felt like that 6.5 is begging you to take Penn State off of, in my opinion, it was a pretty mediocre performance last week. Michigan dropped.
I still don't think Michigan's that good.
No, neither do I, but let's call it for what it is. The kid dropped a pass between the numbers in the end zone to tie the game. Or whatever, go down 1 minus the extra point. They traded blows with Michigan at home. We're fortunate to win. It was by a large margin, mostly of a function of the timing and kind of how things worked out. But this line reeks to me. It's Michigan State or pass for me. I just don't understand how their offense is going to score. In my head, I can't put it together.
My fear. Well, because I hit this team on the screws literally 2 weeks ago when they played Wisconsin.
Against Wisconsin. Yeah, because they scored 0.
Exactly. But
yeah, I don't know how they score.
that is a fear of mine. But I just feel like defensively too, Michigan State's going to have a lot of answers for this Penn State team.
Yeah.
Who I wasn't as impressed with them offensively either. They got one guy, I forget his name, whoever number 1 is. I mean, literally put 3 guys on him, and then let somebody else try and beat you. That's how I'd play defense in that game. But
yeah, I'd probably grab a first half here because I think Penn State's going to be slow getting off the bus. I agree. Michigan State's defense will be stout and ready to go. D'Antonio's a great coach, and maybe they get one of these trick play, cheapy special teams, turnover, short field, something like that, where they can grind out a plus 3.5.
block punt.
So yeah,
touchdown.
Exactly. That was last year. Game number 4 for me, Auburn plus 11. A lot of people are going to think I'm a homer here. I'll explain this very simply. As a football fan, as I said on the review show last week, I am very excited to see this. I think our defense is as good as it's been in a decade. I think LSU's offense is as good as it's been in probably 2 decades, going all the way back to Rohan Davey in like the early 2000s.
Oh.
So, boom, how's that for a drop? Yeah. I can go deep with the LSU. I'll be, as I said, extremely excited. I'll be locked into this game. I'll watch every snap. I could see this playing out very similarly to the way the Auburn-Florida game did. Our defense is good enough to keep us in the game, and then I think things will probably break down late. Auburn will wind up losing the game, but a close one certainly inside 11 points.
Yeah, Jared is a trying to think of how to phrase this. If Jared was one of those fun cakes, he'd have all the Auburn stuff on the outside.
And purple and gold in the middle.
And if you cut into it, if you got like down a layer, you'd see purple and gold in there. The tiger stripe would slowly start to fade from orange and blue to purple and yellow. But it's a phenomenal experience, and I do love. There's a weird respect between these two teams. The interviews are always fun to listen to, except for when a couple years ago our stupid guy said Leonard Fournette wasn't all that good. Thanks, Trey Matthews.
Then he just got dump trucked.
Exactly. That game was over before it even started. But, it's cool to hear Bo Nix go, yeah, I talked to my dad about what it's like, and my dad goes, dude, you're going to I could try and explain to you how loud that place is going to be, but it wouldn't do it justice. Like, when you step on that field, you'll understand how that's going to be. And Bo's been put through tests, and so I'll save my pick for this game for a gun to your head later. It's going to be fun to watch. I'm very excited. This is make or break for Auburn's postseason playoff hopes, and I
think it's advantage us that it's at 2:30.
I do too. 2:30
now,
Central.
There's a lot of other advantages for LSU, but I'm happy it's at 2:30 and not at night.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of contradicting myself, pick number 3. I got Temple at home.
Ooh.
Plus 10.5 against UCF.
I like that.
UCF's last 2 losses, or I guess I'll say 2 losses in the last. They have 3 losses in the last 3 years. 2 of them have been on the road at night. The question is going to be can Temple, they've played a lot of high-powered offenses, so hopefully they've learned a lot. They got smoked by SMU. So the question is going to be, are these guys ready to get up and play another and get after it? I think defensively, if you get pressure on Gabriel, I think you shake up the timing of that offense, and that O-line starts thinking, oh, no, here we go again. And if you can get a team to that mental state, that's usually when things start going your way. If UCF comes out hot early and goes down the field in like 14 plays and has...
Won't be 14 plays.
Well, I'm saying 14 plays and 3 touchdowns is what I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's like, okay, because I don't think Temple has the offensive firepower to keep up with that. So you're going to know if you do this bet, and I'm going to know, within the first 10 minutes of this football game if I have to sit and watch the rest of this or not.
It's the best kind.
Mm-hmm. So I got Temple.
I want to know early.
Yeah. Break my heart. or just rip it out of my chest and stomp on it in front of me, or just don't play games.
Exactly. UCLA plus 3.5. Think that Dorian Thompson-Robinson, Chip Kelly, got to be hitting stride at this point. I don't know. Plug your nose, take them. I don't really know what else to say. There's not a whole ton to add here.
Every time you say that guy's name, it sounds made up. Thompson, Robinson, Johnson, Flonson.
Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I got it right this time. DTR. At home against Leave It on the Grass, and this thing stinking reeks. UCLA on the field. Keep your points.
Ooh.
But I'll take the 3.5 happily with that offense. Everybody forgets that Arizona State's got a freshman quarterback.
It's true. But he's a freshman quarterback I like, folks. Remember, it's 3-1 Micah head-to-head. I'm going, so I got -4 even.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we're both going to lose then. Sweet. That's even better.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to hit right. Yeah, that's going to be excellent. It'll be 3.5 perfectly. So Jerry will get a push. At least you'll get your money back.
No, it'd be 3.5, and you would push, and I would lose if it hit 4.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, there was no situation in which...
With 3.5 points. After I said it, I was like, Micah, you're just saying words right now, and you're not actually thinking before you speak.
It's going to be a quick game. We got to get home for lunch.
So there you go, viewers. That you caught me being stupid. You can cut that one up and put it next to Dilfer's reel.
Put it in the drop.
You can't lose games in the NFL and still win. And
is that what it's called? The drop, like where you have it as a button?
Oh yeah, it's a dump button. So you dump 10 seconds of audio.
No. Where it's like if you say something, and I want to be able to replay what you said a day, a week, a month ago, and I want to play it, and they like cut it for like a
clip it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dump is when it's like cut it out.
Yeah. You get a little sound bite. You clip it. You make it a sound bite.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm learning slowly but surely.
I get Arizona State has a freshman quarterback, but this is an offense that likes to chew clock. And I think Chip Kelly in this offense has yet to find
what?
Chew clock. CLOCK. Jeez. This is the most R-rated show I think we've had in a while. We had a good stretch, Jed, where you weren't cussing. Now you're coming at me like this. You did cuss.
Oh.
Unbelievable. We're earning our E today.
I like to earn your E.
That's true.
If we're gonna have an E, then let's earn it.
Let's earn it.
Yeah.
Start putting beeps everywhere. People think we're cussing. Like, nope. Not cussing.
No, actually, I didn't say anything.
Oh man, that's actually a T-Pain reference. He goes on and does a rap with Taylor Swift. It's
T-Pain.
Yeah, it's T Swift and T Sizzle.
Legend.
Mm-hmm. I love the Tallahassee hero. So does Jared. So
Tallahassee.
So 3-1 for head-to-head. Now we got another one for on the head-to-head line. And then gun to our head, I am at 7 and 8.
I got one more.
You got one more? Okay.
Kentucky plus 10.5 at home against Mizzou. Give me those points. Mark Stoops defense locked and loaded. I am not buying Mizzou. Refuse to buy Mizzou. And nobody remembers how Kentucky played against Florida.
Do you remember?
Who apparently is good.
Apparently knows how to play football.
Apparently they know what they're doing.
Did you like Coach Mason's walk-off interview?
Vanderbilt man. Yeah. You're like 10 and 30, dude.
Yeah, but that's a guy who knows his job is on the line, and that guy could put pads on and absolutely run through about everyone on his team.
Say he's built. Yeah. That's not in question. Your ability to coach football definitely is.
You remember last year when they played Florida and it got really chippy? I would have.
No, but I believe you.
Mullen and Mason were like screaming at each other, and I was like, "Put them in an octagon, just do it." I'd pay. Mason
Mullen would get curbed.
I know. So it was kind of cool to see a coach get that fired up, but yeah, for Missouri to go to Vanderbilt, and just were they out on the strip the night before? Were they out in Smashville, just having a good time and forgot?
Probably.
Oh yeah, we gotta play a football game tomorrow.
I hope so for their sake.
Yeah, golly, they were sitting there alone at the top of the SEC East. Unbelievable.
That's disgraceful. That's what it is. That they are even. When do they play Georgia? A couple weeks.
Georgia is next week for Florida.
No, that's Florida.
Oh,
What
okay.
about
Sorry, for Missouri. I'll check it if you want to keep going through. You got anything else on that pick?
No, I don't have any of the other shows. It's fine. I'm just. I feel like yes, they were alone on top of the East, but they still got to play Florida and Georgia.
Right. Golly, I think Florida, Georgia, or Florida, Missouri is right after Florida, Georgia.
It is.
Not.
It's bye week this week. Next week's Florida, Georgia, and then it's.
So they have Kentucky.
Mizzou.
They have Kentucky. Stop glitching on me, phone. My phone just exploded.
My phone died.
I got Kentucky.
I have an iPhone 11.
This weekend, obviously. And then 11-9, they have Georgia. So they have Georgia after Florida, Georgia.
Yeah. Mizzou.
And then they go
Kentucky.
Florida.
Yep.
Tennessee and Arkansas.
I mean, so they got 6. They got 2 losses now. Yeah, I mean, geez.
One of those is to Wyoming, folks, which not to brag too much, but hey, I called that at the start.
Your boy called it. You did call it. You're right.
I mean, you got
tricky.
ST to rock around. So we're gonna go gun to our head. Last week was not good to Jared and myself, and gun to the head. We just kind of exploded all over the place. Oklahoma loser, Bama loser. No, sorry,
Okay.
Bama winner.
No,
Iowa
Bama
loser. Was Bama loser?
Yeah.
Okay, LSU was the winner. Excuse me. Iowa loser, and then LSU winner. This week we got first game up: Michigan versus Notre Dame in a pick'em.
Puke Fest will not be betting on this game. I have under 9.5 wins for Notre Dame on the year. I am up Schitt's Creek with no paddle, so hopefully Michigan can do something to win this game. That's my only opinion. Do not bet this game.
No.
Unless you're Catholic. Then bet Michigan.
If you're Catholic, you shouldn't be gambling, okay? You got to
Or
say
using a condom.
1,000 Hail Marys.
Yeah.
There's the E, folks. We're rocking and rolling.
Eat the wafer, drink the wine. Eat the wafer, drink the wine.
Scott, if you're listening to this, we're sorry. We love you. Next up. Or excuse me, I got to pick this one. I'm going to, for spite of Jared, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. This Michigan team, I can't watch them, and I'm starting to hear murmurs that Harbaugh's looking for a way to get out of there. Which also I'm hearing murmurs that Florida State's looking at getting Urban Meyer. Could you imagine this state if that? There's no way that happens, but in a hypothetical universe, this place would explode. I don't think
you're spending too much time on Twitter, Micah.
Could you imagine,
dude,
the Florida fan base?
So we were talking about this last night. Florida State literally cannot afford to fire Willie Taggart. Cannot afford to fire him. And it would be one thing if he could get another job somewhere else, but if you're a program right now, are you hiring Willie Taggart?
No.
0% chance. They cannot afford. They're stuck with him for 2 more years.
He's not even getting, when he gets canned, he's not even going to get the the resuscitation job that is the Alabama analyst position.
Yeah. He's not getting that. He's not getting like the
Turner Gill.
I was gonna say Western Kentucky, but he was already there. He's not getting like the Fun Row UL Monroe job.
Yeah.
Like wasteland. Offensive coordinator and or quarterbacks coach. Maybe.
Coach. Hey, coach. Put me in the game there, coach. Yeah. It's going to be ugly. But that's talking FSU. That's the most we've talked about that team in a long
First
time.
and last time.
Oh, they're so bad. Next up, Jared, obviously already picking Auburn. I just don't have, with the questions at the tailback position,
If you want to win,
yeah,
Booby in.
Booby's not in. And if our offense is to be successful, we need to be able to run the football. And for that reason, I'm going LSU minus 10.5.
Wow. It's not that crazy.
It hurts me, but it's the I'm going reverse psychology of what Jared did for Texas A&M. So now I'm on the it's my turn to fall on the sword.
See, I just think we'll score. I think that's what keeps us inside the number.
I do think LSU's defense is not good.
Yeah. I think we'll score. This isn't going to be Florida where we can't move it at all.
How long? It's been 20 years since we've won in Baton Rouge. We should have won in
4 years ago.
No, 2 years ago. It was in 17.
You're right.
No, 18. 17. Yeah. And
they all kind of run together for your boy.
So, because we were up big at halftime and absolutely just peed down our leg. And last but not least, the big noon kickoff on Fox.
Stupidest programming ever, but best announcers in college football.
True. We got Wisconsin plus 14.5 at the Horseshoe against the Buckeyes.
That is disgusting. 14.5. Give me Ohio State. I'm not stepping in front of this train. Just clobbering people. Literally scoring at will.
Yeah.
Against everybody. And I don't see. This is a thing where Wisconsin will be put behind the 8 ball quickly, and insert white guy from Wisconsin noodle arm is going to be trying to sling it around the yard, and I don't see a lot of success from Wisconsin here. Now, they could easily cover the number and have no chance of winning the game if they stick to that run first mentality. So it's, I think they want to win. I could be wrong. I certainly think it'll be one of their best off-the-mat performances from last week of the season. But I'll take Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ohio State as well. This team is very good at football. Fields is very good at football. It's
loaded. They're loaded.
They got a boatload of talent. And, they don't have the thing you fall into at these is there a look-ahead spot? There really isn't. You got Maryland and then Rutgers. Before then you go Penn State and then Michigan. So there's no look-ahead factor. This is the first big game of their season. I think they just come out and absolutely just
throttle town.
Yeah.
I think this is the second best roster in the country. I think they're better than Clemson.
I think they are too.
Roster-wise.
I agree.
Nobody touches Bama. To say anything different is blasphemy in my mind. But, these dudes they're stacked. And Fields has got it spinning. Ryan Day's not missing a beat. I think it's huge that they kept all of the other coaches in place. Just Urban left. That was it.
See, there's the Urban tie-in. We're just tying it all together.
I'm learning my transitions. I'm getting better.
This Ohio State team is very, very talented. And it's a team that's kind of just kept to themselves. And I think because
themselves, they don't play anybody.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like
they play no one.
But you can sometimes you have those teams where they don't play anyone, but they're running their mouth.
Oh yeah, they've just been silently slaughtering people by 50.
Which are usually the teams I'm most scared about, because if you're capable of having that sort of mental discipline, that's where I get scared.
Impressive. Yeah.
So it'll be fun to watch.
I think Clemson lock, Ohio State lock,
Oklahoma
lock. Unless
SEC winner lock.
All this stuff's we'll see what happens with Tua, but unless Bama trips over their dick, they're in, or SEC champion. Oh yeah, sorry. I don't really know how else to describe that. I don't have any other adjectives for what would be required for Bama to lose multiple games. And but okay, and then so fine. SEC champ lock. As far as I'm concerned, let's just fast forward to January and let's get it on.
Let's get it on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's starting to E now?
Hey, that is called implying. It's not actually saying dick.
I'm talking about my friend Richard.
Richard. Harry Richard?
Do you know where the weight room is?
Yeah. It's all right. I'll figure it out. Hey, Richard. Who's your favorite little rascal? But hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Pigskin Junkies. I'm Mike Larson. That's Jared Larson. Thank you so much for tuning
My
in.
son.
I know. And we will see you next time.
Point Break.